Welcome back to In the Midst. So some of you guys have asked if we garden, and we do. So this is not something that we've absolutely done every year. We had a couple years. Last year we didn't garden, and maybe the year before, but I know last year we didn't. We had just moved, so we just didn't take the time to do it. So this year we have 15 rows. This is our garden, and I'm in the process of learning canning, freezing, preserving, all that. I'm not good at that yet. I did it 2 years ago, and the things that I froze and canned, I didn't want to eat them. So we're working on that. It is a process. So we did not bring in any sort of like compost dirt or potting mix, anything like that. We've never had a garden here. So we're just kind of seeing what the ground does. My husband tilled it with a tractor, and then we just planted the seed. So what we've done is we've actually got, we've got lots of things going on here. The ground is kind of sloped a little bit. So we've got okra. The first 4 rows up here are okra. They need kind of the least amount of water. Okra is pretty resistant. So if it were to rain a whole bunch, we want the rain to kind of go away. So it's going to with the ground. I mean, we don't get flooded, but it's going to kind of naturally go that way a little bit. So we've got the cucumbers, okra, or the cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, things like that that need a little more water down that way. So I know there's grass in here and weeds and stuff, mostly just grass. But it's been like 95 degrees here in Southeast Tennessee and 100% humidity. We've actually been under a heat advisory. It's just been hot and humid and gross. So I'm only working in about 1 row a day because it's just hot, and hoeing through the rows, it kills my hands. So it's a process, but we're getting there. So we are going to take a look through what we have and talk about planting and stuff like that. So let me see if I can get this turned around here. I might not be able to. Yeah, I don't know if I can. So we have the first 4 rows here are okra. My husband had this idea to put the PVC pipe out with some string to make the rows even, so I knew where to plant things. So that was a huge help. So this is the okra. So you can, I hope I can see this because I can't turn the camera around. So they're coming up. We are, I think tomorrow is 3 weeks, maybe 4 since we planted. So we don't ever plant until after Mother's Day, because that way we don't have to worry about blackberry winter, that last frost that everybody thinks isn't going to come, but it does. And we've never lost anything. I've never had to go replant, tomatoes or whatever. It's a non-issue for us. So this, maybe it's 3 rows of okra. Pretty sure it's 4. These just look a little different. So that, I might have to look at this again. We might have 3 rows of okra, not 4. So I think these might actually be my cucumbers right here. So you can see some of those are getting pretty tall, and they're coming. So since we did plant late, we don't ever plant until after Mother's Day, but life was just crazy busy. So we were actually like 2 weeks late in planting today. So tomorrow might be 3 weeks. But some of our squash plants here are getting pretty big, and it's okay that some of these leaves get a little yellow. Everything else is doing fine. I water at night. I normally try to water in the morning, like right now, that 8, 9, in the morning. But it's just been hot and busy. So I've been getting out here in the evenings now. And so that's when I come water, and it's working. We're fine. So we've got 2 rows of yellow squash, and then this little half row was zucchini. That's all the seeds that were in the packet. So I didn't go buy another packet. I should have. My husband was like, why'd you only do half a row? Well, oops. So we have different tomatoes. So this is another row of cucumbers. I wasn't going to do a second row, but I had the extra seeds, and I was like, we'll just go ahead and throw them in. We've got regular bush tomatoes and cherry tomatoes, and then we have bell peppers, jalapenos, and we actually have 2 rows of onions that are coming up pretty well. So I'm excited about that. And then we've got just some extra space. We didn't use this down here, so there's nothing growing right there, which is fine. So yeah, so no matter where you are, you can grow something. And especially with the way food and the economy and stuff like that is, this really is not hard. You just have to start. You have to try. So if you've never done this before, I want to encourage you to just do it. But these, I'm not like brand specific or anything, but this packet of cucumber seeds, and I've got 2 rows out of it, was $2.19. So less than $3. How much are you paying for a single cucumber at the store? Okay. And there's this handy little thing right here that looks at your area and tells you when to plant. So for us, being in Tennessee, we can actually plant cucumbers until July. So from late April till July, and it's 60 days to harvest from the time you plant. Our tomatoes, let's see, these are tomato bush, the glacier tomatoes, and this says 55 days from seed. We should be getting some tomatoes in here. This packet does not have the map. There's stuff inside, but I can't see it. So when you go to the store, we got all these at Ace Hardware. You can go to Tractor Supply, Co-op, Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot. They normally have seeds, so they are not hard to find at all. This is our green squash or green zucchini. And here in Tennessee, we can plant these from May to July as well. So if you are in the southeast region, and that's actually North Georgia, North Alabama, and northern Mississippi, you can plant until July. So you still have plenty of time. And I mean, we're not going to have frost for months. So you can keep these going for months to come. So don't think it's too late. Don't think that, oh, I just missed out this year, there's nothing I can do. You can. So I would encourage you to just start, just try. I mean, it's $2, you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we've got okra, yellow squash, green zucchini, cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, bell peppers, and jalapeno peppers. So the jalapenos and bell peppers are new. Onions are new. Every year we do squash, zucchini, tomatoes, okra. That's a lot of what we eat. Cucumbers. I eat the cucumbers and tomatoes. So I've made salsa before. I buy the canning mix at the store. Ours was from Rural King, but I'll do a separate video on that. And it's not free food, but it's pretty close. It's just a lot of sweat and work, but it's definitely worth it. So some of you have asked, there is our garden. Nothing fancy, nothing overcomplicated. We don't use any sort of pesticides or whatever. Sometimes if I need it, I will go buy 7 Dust, but that's about it. I try not to put stuff on our plants. You can plant marigolds, rosemary, peppermint. Those are natural insecticides. So we're going to try to go with more of that route this year if we need it. And we're just going to see what happens. So far, things are growing. Things are looking good. We are 2 to 3 weeks from getting vegetables that we can eat. So that's super exciting. So I hope this was a help and an encouragement to you. Just try. Our first garden was a raised bed garden, and we did square foot gardening. So everything grew in 1 square foot, and it did well. And so there's lots of options to this. You can grow in planters, buckets. You can grow herbs inside your house, you know, on the kitchen counter. So just try. Don't let this be intimidating to you. If you want to garden, you want to try it, and you're like, wow, that looks really neat, go for it. Worst thing that's going to happen is it's not going to grow. It's okay. Try again. So I hope this was a help. And if you guys have any questions, drop those in the comments below, and I would be happy to answer them. So I will see you guys later.